Hello and welcome to day 8 of the blog, 29th of March. The aims are to learn some English, to escape from our daily routines a little and see the situation from both outside and inside Italy, where I'm recording from. My name's Mark Brophy, here's some background information and a little about what I do now. Today we're going to look at a new word. The world is changing, so we need new words. Here is a new word, covidiot. Covidiot. New term. What is a covidiot? There are two definitions. Both stupid people, a stupid person. So a stupid person who stubbornly ignores. Stubborn means refuses to be flexible. So somebody who does not obey or follow social distancing. Or a person who hoards. To hoard is to keep more than you need. To deprive means to stop somebody else from having. Let's look at an example. So, don't be a covidiot. Social distancing and hoarding, buying more than you need. Famous example of toilet roll we looked at a few days ago. People, others can be accused of being covidiots. Many people's favourite subject to this is Mr. Trump. Trump is a covidiot. Country. Today we're going to look at one particular country. I'm sure you've already guessed, the country is Sweden. Looking at the population of Sweden, it's just over 10 million people compared to its neighbours of Denmark and Norway, which are just over half the size. Normally these three countries are very similar. They have similar languages, similar cultural backgrounds, and they have a similar way of doing things. Maybe they don't think that, but looking from the outside, we see them as all very similar. Today, Sweden is very much the exception. Why? Here's a picture of downtown central city in Sweden. It looks like a picture of a few months ago, normality. It's not, it's a picture of today. Lockdown? No. Okay. Denmark and Norway have locked down, but Sweden has not, with the exception of high schools and colleges. Is it working? Well, let's look at the numbers. We're going to look at the numbers per capita, or expressed as 1,000 of population. First number we'll look at is the number of cases. The number of cases shows Norway having far more cases than either Sweden and Denmark, which are broadly similar. So maybe the cases is not relevant, depends how many people you test. Let's look at the number of deaths. The number of deaths per 1,000 population. We have Denmark, Sweden and Norway on the right. We can see Sweden is a little further along, but not so different to them. Denmark. What do the Danes think about this Swedish initiative? Well, it's still winter, coming into spring, but it's still quite cold. It's still possible to ski in Sweden, but the Prime Minister of Denmark says don't go skiing in Sweden, advising citizens because look at this. This is skiing in Sweden. No social distancing. Maybe they're covidiots. Let's see what happens. Brexit and the virus. Sooner or later, we had to mention Brexit. The UK technically left the EU at the end of January, but there is a transition period until the end of December this year. Two key points here. The negotiations to leave, to make sure that the UK does actually leave on the 31st of December, are on hold for obvious reasons. So the UK is technically still an active member. Okay, Brexit over breathing. This is a scandal that came out in the UK over the last week or two. There was a EU scheme to buy ventilators. So the EU, all of the EU countries came together to make an official bid to companies to buy ventilators. It was technically possible for the UK to participate. It didn't. Why not? Well, we're no longer a member and we are making our own efforts. These were statements issued by a spokesman from Downing Street. A couple of days later, well, we didn't receive the email, so it was then blamed on a communication problem. The consequence? The consequence is the UK has not been part of this tender public offer to buy ventilators. Do they really need them? Well, at the moment, the UK has 8,000, possibly need 30,000. Maybe it would have been a good idea to participate. Oh, beginning to slow, just slow down. Here we have the growth of cases is starting to slow. The growth, not the number of cases, the growth. In Italy now, there is single-digit growth, single-digit, one number, meaning under 10% in many areas. As you can see, Italy is much further along, so we're under 10% in growth recently, just in the last couple of days. In conclusion, today we've looked at COVIDiot, we've looked at Sweden as the one country doing things very differently to everybody else. We've looked at Brexit and the problem of ventilators, and we've seen a slowing.